So first we start from the axilla, then up to the elbow fissure, the flexural area, then the wrist, the webs of the fingers, the genitalia, up to the belly button, the lower abdomen, and again back to the areola. So this is one side, another side same. This circle of Hebra, if all the areas are affected, then you must understand the patient is presenting with scabies. Why it is so dangerous? It is an allergic reaction. If you treat it, it will be fine. But why it is considered so contagious and dangerous? Because firstly, it spreads rapidly. Specifically, people staying in the hostels, having common roommates. Some of you may remain unhygienic. The other person gets infected. Sharing same garments rather. Inner garments are too far. In fact, the seams of the clothes, they also contain the eggs. So first, the precaution is you have to regularly maintain the hygiene, wash your clothes, wash your linens, your pillows, pillow covers, everything. Secondly, if he or she is presenting with scabies, we should advise no physical contact. Whether sexual or sharing the same room should be avoided. Secondly, even after treatment, the patient presents with post scabitic itch. Why so? Because with the treatment part, we are killing the eggs, we are not killing the adult mites. So, maybe one or two may stay back, and again the cycle may continue. So, we have to regularly for 3 to 6 weeks, we have to treat the patients. Now, how does the lesion present? If a patient comes to you, yes, there is itching, there is sleepless nights, there is presence of lesions over the webs of the fingers, but how does these lesions present? Basically, two things you have to utter in your Viva table regarding scabies, that is burrows. What are these burrows? These are special lesions in dermatology. These are itchy lines. Itchy lines. Why so itchy lines? There will be parallel lines all over the webs of the fingers, the wrist, all the accessible areas of our body where the patient will constantly keep on itching. Why only on these areas? Because the female mites are laying eggs in these areas only on a linear fashion. Secondly, there will be lots of bumps and papules. These areas contain the fecus, the stool. Okay, and these are also creating a lot of hypersensitivity. Basically, the presence is mainly of two things, burrows and the papules. Circle of Hebra, burrows, papules, and the history. That's all. This is too much for the cutaneous manifestation. Now, firstly, we have to explain the patient about the precaution. You have to stay clean, you have to clean your clothes, you have to stay separately, you have to maintain isolation. Then comes this is the prevention part. Then comes the correction part, the management. See, there are two types of differentiation in this management part. First, we will deal with the topical management, then comes the systemic management. Systemic management only includes oral medications. In topical management, there are 4 drugs. Kindly note it down, 4 drugs. First one is very common, which is rampantly used in the government hospitals also. That is 5% permethrin. 5% permethrin is applied topically. They are available in 60-gram tubes. What we do is we ask the patient to apply it below the neck up to the toe, not on the face. So you will ask me why not on the face? Because we are having a lot of sebaceous glands over the face area, also on the body, but why only face? Because too much of sunlight exposure, too much of sweating, so the adult mites do not survive over the facial regions. Secondly, in children below 2 years, there we advise the mother to apply also on the face, because the face area is not developing sebaceous glands as highly vascular in case of adults. So in children below 2 years, if affected by scabies, if the mother or father is having scabies, then we also tell the parents to apply it on the face of the child. But that is very rare. If we see any lesions, then only we see. So 5% permethrin. 5% permethrin should not be allowed to apply any other place which is open, like the oral cavity, the anal opening. No, not there. It is itching. We'll tell the patient to apply over the pubic region. Fine, but not in the inner mucous membrane. Just topically over the surface areas. We ask the patient to apply once a week. Suppose Friday, again next Friday, again next Friday. Like this, 3 consecutive weeks, once a week. That goes for permethrin. The next drug is 5 to 10%, 0.5% malathion. Malathion is also a pesticide, so it has to be mixed with an aqueous base of 5% solution. This comes readily available. We don't have to do the mixing part. Now it is available. So it is 0.5% malathion in aqueous base. Next comes 10 to 25% benzyl benzoate. This is also rapidly used, very rampantly used in government hospitals, not that very efficacious. This is used once in 3 days. So like if you use it on a Monday, again we repeat it on a Thursday. Then again next week on a Monday, on a Thursday. So once in 3 days for 3 weeks. And the next drug which is very important for pregnant patients, that is 5% sulfur. It is safe in pregnancy lactation. The other 3 are avoided in pregnancy, but if nothing is available, because now the sulfur drugs are also being banned, so we always shift to 5% permethrin. That is safe enough. This goes the topical part. Enough for your MBBS level at least. So next comes the oral medication, the systemic drug, that is ivermectin. Ivermectin is always, just remember this throughout your life, you should never give below 12 years. The book says 15 years, 10 years, 20 years. There are lots of new verdicts. But as per the ADA guidelines, you should never give it below 12 years. This is also given once a week, like on a Friday or a Saturday, once a week for 3 weeks. This is anti-helminthic also. So what happens is, this kills the adult mites. The topical application once kills the eggs, the reproductive group of mites, but the adult male mites still survive. That's why we have the post-cabetic age. But in ivermectin, all of it, male, female, eggs, pregnant, all gone. Okay, so this goes for the management part. Now we come to the complications. Just as I said that it is a very, very dangerous disease. Why it is dangerous? It can be just contagious. It can just be, very itchy, very disturbing. Why it is dangerous? Because this affects the liver, kidney and the cardiovascular system. Why so? Why a parasitic infection will cause so much? See, there is a bacterial organism known as post-streptococcal gonococcitis that affects the spermatic cord. But in this case, there will be group B streptococcus, which leads to post-streptococcal glomerulonephritis, PSGN. Why are we getting group B streptococcus in this case? Because these patients become immunocompromised. Once affected with scabies, he or she will definitely have in his lifetime, he or she, impetigo. What is impetigo? Too much of itching, too much of excoriation leads to secondary bacterial infection, which leads to PSGN. Also, these patients will be presenting with rheumatic fever, rheumatic heart disease. Why? Why rheumatic heart disease? There is no link between a parasite and a rheumatic fever. It is all due to immunocompromisation. So, whenever a patient is coming to the OPD, we should always advise them about the precautions. Secondly, there is a very complicated form of scabies. Have you heard about it? What term I am going to talk about? Yes, very good. Crusted scabies or Norwegian scabies. Norwegian scabies, the patient will look very much horrible. Why horrible? The first sight of the patient will make you struck. The patient will be presenting with numerous big, scaly, thick crusts all over the face, the axilla, the areola, the genitalia, everything will be affected. These patients are totally immunocompromised. Crusted scabies or Norwegian scabies is also a form of opportunistic infection. Now, what is an opportunistic infection? When the patient is having some immunity related problem, like there can be Hodgkin's lymphoma, there can be HIV related AIDS, there can be any kind of blood dyscrasias. So, all these will lead to autoimmunity. Then these patients, if infected, will have severe form of scabies. The management is same, but over here we give topical ivermectin every day. There is also oral ivermectin every day for 2 weeks. Okay. And one more thing I have to tell you all regarding scabies is, see, when you'll be getting into the post graduation courses, also in I think MBBS courses, you will be learning about these sexually transmitted diseases. Scabies is also considered as a secondary form of sexually transmitted disease. The commercial sex workers, the poor strata people who indulge with multiple partners, even they present with STDs. And the very minor form of STDs also include two diseases, scabies and molluscum contagiosum. Okay, so that's it for today. And one more thing is, whenever you get any patients related to scabies, while you're examining, never forget to wash your hands after examining. Okay, because the OPD, you'll get to learn many things in OPD, but yes, even you will be prone to many diseases. Okay, so any more questions regarding scabies? No. Okay, so any one of you tell me what's the causative organism? Anyone? Yes, then the full name. Sarcoptes scabii var hominis. Okay, you need to tell the full thing. Anything else? Why the full name? He was right, Sarcoptes scabii. Why did I ask him to tell the full name? Because there are two types, animal scabies and human scabies. So that's for the human part. Okay? So next week we'll have a class, or later that? Next week. Okay. Any suggestions what topic you want to hear it out from me? Or I'll maintain my syllabus? I'll follow mine. Okay. Can you just tentatively tell me when are your exams? 16th May. June. Yes, 16th May is gone. 16th June. That's your semester. So anything you want to know before that, you want to brush up, any big topic? Dharma you don't have, right? Dharma you have? No. What topic you have? Or from 16 June you'll start with? The routine is with you? No. Okay. So 16 June is far off, right? You'll get the routine on 1st June. No problem. Okay. So next week, let's see, I'll do another short topic, and I have made a routine so that we finish the syllabus before perhaps Durga Pujas. Okay. And then we'll just revise. I'll keep asking questions. Even if you don't answer, I'll only give the answers, no problem, but at least we'll revise. Okay, and any topic you want to know personally, you want to discuss, you can't understand the treatment part, you are most free to discuss. Even if we are discussing some other topic, but you want to know, suppose you want to know about vitiligo or alopecia, then also we'll discuss. Okay, thank you so much.